This is my Disc Destroyer. It's a mean little machine with one job: testing grinding discs. With so many grinding discs and countless reviews, it's hard to separate fact from fiction. This is where the Disc Destroyer comes in. It cuts through the noise, delivering real results. No bias, no sponsorships, just cold hard tests. Grinding discs can face a lot of real-world challenges, like high and low pressures, hot and cold materials, and of course, fast and slow speeds. This machine tests it all, so that we can finally find the truth in the reviews. Today I am testing the FlexSight Max Type 29 flap disc, coming in at $11.99 per disc. I found many reviews online, most of which gave the disc 5 stars. Some said that it is the best disc ever and that it's an incredible product. These reviewers really like that it solves the problem of not being able to see exactly what you're grinding. But one person said that because the wheel is broken on purpose, the disc is unbalanced, which could make it dangerous to use. So will it prove to be 5-star worthy, or will it self-destruct? Let's test them to find out. Each disc will be grinding this test bar to see how much it can remove within 20 minutes time. This will chart out its story and tell us exactly how this disc behaves, based on how much material it removes at any given point. But if the disc stops effectively grinding the bar, or just straight up disintegrates, the test is over. Let's begin. I kicked off the first set of tests by simulating light pressure grinding. I did this by adding a 4-pound weight to my rig. This is roughly the weight of the grinder. I started the test and the FlexSight Max lasted a bit over 11.5 minutes and removed less than 9.5 inches of material. I am determined to get this disc to perform better. Next, I wanted to see how it would grind against a hot weld. I simulated this by heating up the first few inches of my test coupon before I started grinding. On hot metal, it cut almost 13.5 inches of material off and lasted the entire 20 minutes. Now, I am going to slow down the grind speed. This could help the disc gain some longevity, so I kept my 4-pound weight, but I lowered my grinding speeds from 11,000 RPMs to 6,000. And this switch actually pushed our disc performance in the opposite direction. On both hot and cold metal, the disc performed significantly worse, not even taking off 1.5 inches of material in its best test. So what's happening here? This disc is sustaining major damage during our testing, wearing down to the backing pad, which makes it unable to keep removing material off of our coupon. One last thing we can change is how much pressure we are applying to the grinder. So I swapped my 4-pound weight for 8 and began the test. And this time, the FlexSight Max flap disc started off cutting at a more aggressive rate than before. But in the end, it only lasted less than 2 minutes and took off just over 2.5 inches of material. I have one more variable I can change. For my last test, I am going to heat up the coupon and see what this disc can do at high pressure and high heat. In this high heat test, the disc started off stronger than in the cold 8-pound test and lasted slightly over 3 minutes. After measuring the coupon, I saw a little under 5 inches of material had been cut. The 8-pound tests had disappointing results. It seems heavy pressure is not ideal when using this disc. So how do these reviews stand compared to our data? It depends on how much pressure you are using. I can only assume that the positive reviews came from using the disc with light pressure, but even then, this disc was not overly impressive. Is it worth the $11.99? Well, that is for you to decide. If you'd like to see the data I've collected for this disc, as well as the other discs in these tests, I've posted them at the Fireball Forum, linked in the description. I'm going to keep posting more and more of these test videos, so stay tuned to find the truth in the reviews. And if you're wondering why I built the rig the way I did, how it works, and what it's all about, I have a video that goes into great detail that you should check out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.